Hello and thank you for accepting our invitation to happiness. Ryuho Okawa is a global visionary, renowned spiritual leader, and an international best-selling author. With his deep spiritual insight, wisdom, and compassion, Okawa is committed to guide people to true happiness and create a better world. To accomplish this, he founded Happy Science Group in 1986 in Japan, which has become a global movement in over 100 countries. His vision and message to the world goes beyond the differences of race and language. Together, throughout this program, we will explore ways to attain true happiness through a spiritual perspective and how to create a better world starting from within. Let's face it, everyone has their share of problems and obstacles in life, such as broken relationships, failures in business, and family misfortune, among others. Some people are able to overcome them, while others are unfortunately overwhelmed by them. There are times you may be wondering if you're the only one suffering in the entire world. Why do these problems happen? Are they random, or is there a deeper meaning behind them? Before we get started, let's ask the people of New York what they think about the meaning of life's obstacles.
Yes, I do. Not because any higher authority, though, is putting them in your way.
I do. I think there are many obstacles, and depending on how we learn from them, it can either improve or decrease our quality of life.
Yes, because if life didn't have obstacles, life would be pretty boring. I see obstacles more as challenges than things that can get me down.
Yeah, I think life has obstacles for a reason insofar as you can learn from different challenges. I think you can say obstacles are challenges and you learn from those, and I think life's all about learning as much as you can. Yeah.
Yes, everything happens for a reason, and sometimes it's not clear initially, but later it kind of becomes clear or clearer.
What about you? Do you think that your problems and obstacles happen for a reason? Let's get some further insight from Okawa.
The theme of today's lecture is Feel the Miracle. I will narrow down what I would like to say into specific points. At Happy Science, the structure of the teachings is centered around the teaching of effort. Even so, everything has another side. No matter how hard you try every day, based on the teaching of effort. Some of you may not be able to get yourself out of your own troubles and hardships. In such cases, I would like you to think about why you are suffering and worried. The cause will most likely come down to just one point: the feeling of self-protection. Are you focused only on protecting yourself and structuring your way of thinking based on that? I'd like you to examine this point. Humans have been created with an ability to protect oneself from danger, just like other living creatures, like insects and animals. So self-protection is a natural instinct. However, within this instinct to protect yourself, unfortunately, there is an element that actually makes you unhappy. In truth, 90% of your suffering is caused by your instinct for self-protection. One of the aspects that create this instinct for self-protection is self-justification. There will be many reasons why you are currently in the midst of suffering, being hurt, or troubled. For instance, so-and-so did this. So-and-so said that. It's that accident 5 years ago. Things began to fall apart when I had a child 10 years ago. and I failed to graduate from university 20 years ago. However, in such cases, the wide range of excuses comes from this instinct to protect yourself. Moreover, you have a tendency to look for the cause of that unhappiness based on external factors, not from within yourself. You probably think that the various events you have experienced had a negative impact. These include words, actions, and feelings from the various people you came in contact with, and all this accumulated to make you unhappy. But such a way of thinking itself is actually one of the main causes of your unhappiness. Despite this instinct for self-protection that functions to defend yourself, it actually works to justify the reason you are unhappy, and thus works toward reassuring that view. In other words, you look externally for the cause of your unhappiness. The strong desire to justify yourself is actually one of the main causes of your suffering. Another example is when the instinct for self-protection changes into a strong sense to attack others. In terms of personality, this is often seen in rather confident and determined people. Such people do not have a victimization mindset and think, "I've fallen victim." Rather, they have a mindset to conclude, "He hurt me," or "I failed because of him, so it's his fault." As a result, they have a strong resentment towards them and end up blaming and detesting them and become furious and work to get even. This leads them to become obsessed in ruining other people, or they resort to scheming behind the scenes, such as spreading rumors and try to entrap or isolate them. There are many such people all over the world, but this doesn't necessarily mean they are evil. This is because this type of behavior is founded on this instinct for self-protection. People who have power, intense desire, a strong body, tenacity, and high level of ability have a tendency to attack others, but such people are not necessarily evil. People with rather weak personalities tend to self-justify to protect themselves, but those with strong personalities, conversely, tend to attack and blame others. This is because their own failures and misgivings will be excused if someone else is the culprit. By blaming someone else, they believe that the cause of their own suffering can be resolved. At Happy Science, we preach the teaching of self-reflection. So please think carefully of whether you have an excessive instinct for self-protection. You most likely have such feelings. In truth, that is the real cause of your sadness and sufferings. I usually preach to people to overcome worries and hardships by practicing the teaching of effort. I will talk about something a little different from this usual teaching of self-help. As I mentioned earlier, since hardship arises from a sense of self-protection, as long as you are trying to escape your suffering, you won't really be able to free yourself. So please simply let go, and please let go of blaming others and blaming yourself. Also, let go of blaming your children. Please accept that the situation happening right before your eyes are meant to happen. I would like you to understand that the event happening now didn't occur by chance or due to someone else or your own mistake. The problems that are occupying your mind and making you suffer are actually meant to happen. The challenges you need to face now are manifesting themselves right before you. Let's take illness, for example. Not many people will intentionally try to get sick. You often get sick when you're least expecting it. There are many causes of illness, including neglecting your health, a lack of exercise, too much stress, and poor nutritional balance. We can resort to such worldly explanations. In fact, there is a good reason as to why you get sick. In any case, please know that the phenomenon that is now manifesting is not a coincidence. A problem that is appropriate for you has appeared. This is true in the case where your child is causing the parents trouble. There is definitely a reason behind your child being born with a disability too. In case of a problem between a married couple, there is some meaning behind how it is being presented. There is a good reason or meaning for a fight between husband and wife. The problem is trying to teach you something. In other words, the marital problems has appeared because now is the time when it must appear. It is trying to teach you something important. So please try to get an understanding of what it is. You must not use the problem as a tool to blame yourself or others without trying to understand it. The problem is manifesting for a reason. So just humbly accept what has appeared before you. When you humbly accept your problem, a path will certainly open up. You may wonder why a particular event is happening to you. Even when you have studied really hard, have taken so much care of your family, have been so devoted to your parents, or are very attractive. Nevertheless, I want you to try accepting it quietly. Spend time meditating. Don't try to solve the problem with your analytical thinking. Instead, try to pause your mind, a mind that is anxious about trying to reach a conclusion, using your knowledge to judge about right or wrong, advantages or disadvantages, front or back, left or right, etc., actually makes you suffer even more. At that time, please just simply accept everything first, without making judgments. Please think that the will of the universe has manifested right here, right now.
When facing life's problems, the cause of our sufferings can be narrowed down to something called an instinct of self-protection. What is this instinct and how is it linked to suffering? Protecting oneself may sound like a positive thing. However, when used wrongly, this can easily become a negative trait, as it leads to developing the habit of blaming others and the environment. The reason why it is negative is because this way of thinking doesn't allow us to be in control of our own happiness. To break the cycle of unhappiness, we need to simply stop overanalyzing and accept the divine will of the universe. So stop and think about what God is trying to teach you through the situation you are presently facing. Let's hear more from Okawa.
People fall ill, but there are actually many important things to learn from being ill. For example, it may be telling you that your mind and body are unbalanced, that you are overconfident in your abilities, or that you should have another look at your family relationships. People who despise their mother and father might understand how their parents felt when they become sick. They may also come to understand the feelings of others better, or be able to view their work with a different perspective. Given that this could be a case where the illness is something necessary for your growth, becoming ill cannot be considered completely unfortunate. Therefore, stop thinking of the problem currently manifesting as something that has arisen due to some sort of mistake, and stop blaming yourself or others. Please, accept it. It is important to accept that the problem appeared because it is necessary for you now. And please, calmly meditate on it. Please stop making decisions. You must not make any hasty judgments. At this time, please do not make any decisions about whether the problem is right or wrong. improving or deteriorating, or is something to abandon or to take. Please accept it quietly, since it is something that is appearing and necessary to you now, because the will of the great universe is working and providing you with an issue that you now need. It is important to humbly and quietly accept the meaning. What is necessary for your spiritual training in this life definitely lies in this issue that has manifested. I'll say it again. Don't approach everything with a defensive mindset or try to solve it as you would at work. Instead, simply just accept it. And from that, please feel the will of the great universe or the mind of God or Buddha. Everyone tends to think that it would be good to sail straight towards success without any problems in life. But the reality is that there is not one person who is born on earth with that type of life plan. There are many pitfalls throughout your life, but you cannot be told about them in advance. You may think it's malicious, but somewhere in life, there will definitely be pitfalls and you will fall into them. When this happens, please don't think that you just happen to have fallen in. That pitfall is something that was there from the start to make you fall. This is because it is something that you need to experience. When you fall into the pitfall and land hard on your bottom, please look up at the night sky. You need such kind of experience several times in your life. If you don't get over that period, you will not understand the real you, nor will you understand the feelings of others. You may think you are seeing the real shape of the world, but in reality you're not, as long as you have not gone through that period. You've fallen into a pitfall and cannot get out, and are spending the night looking up at the starry sky, feeling helpless. That is the moment you are able to see something for the very first time. All alone, you will notice things such as how much people have given to you and supported you, how much you have overlooked the assistance of others, and noticed that things you have taken credit for are actually things you shouldn't have. When you are surrounded by such immense feelings, you become one with the power of the great universe. When you cast off or throw away the feelings of self-protection and live as one with the will of the great universe, the path to salvation will certainly open up. Metaphorically speaking, this is the same technique as when you have fallen into a pool and start drowning. When you struggle too much, you will swallow water and end up drowning. But if you stop struggling for a moment and remain still, you will begin to rise and float. That's how it is. It works the same in the ocean. These things happen. You will end up swallowing a lot of water by struggling recklessly. Many people drown this way. First, please stop struggling. Then calmly wait for your head to rise to the surface. If you do that, your body will surely follow. Let's go over everything I've said so far. First, I said to entrust everything. This means to entrust everything to Buddha and entrust everything to El Cantare. This sentiment is important. Dear Lord, my suffering is by no means the fault of others or a mistake on my part. Neither is Buddha trying to be malicious. My suffering is here to teach me the meaning of life in this world. I would like to accept it and be enlightened. That's why, Lord, I trust in your will. So please stop struggling. Stop making decisions. Quietly accept your suffering. When you accept it, the power of buoyancy will come from within. Your power of vitality will strongly flow from within. At that time, miracles will happen. Until then, despite making your utmost efforts, you will suffer greatly and the world will seem like hell. You will think that you are struggling at the bottom, yet you will come to realize that this actually wasn't the case. Everything is under the will of the great universe. There are no such things you can change on your own. Be grateful for the privilege of living in this world, of being born, of undergoing life training in this world. Essentially, you must not seek any more than that. When you begin to understand this, pray, "Dear Lord, I entrust everything to you. If you think that I need this training, then I will endure it. If it is something necessary for my soul, then I will accept it. I will not protest. I will not resist. I will accept what has appeared as it is." Please think like this. You may now be thinking that you are suffering in the cauldron of hell, but it will actually make your soul stronger. In many cases, your suffering is a great mercy that will transform your soul into true gold. I would be delighted if you came to this realization. If you do, just as the title suggests, there will be a moment when you feel a miracle. While you are thinking about defending yourself with the power of your ego or your own power, miracles will not occur. It will not happen while you are trying to solve problems with your own knowledge, experience, judgment, and discretionary power of good and evil. However, it will occur when you become one with the great universe and yield yourself to it. Please try to feel that. Please make time for such meditation, even if it's only for 15 minutes a day. Please stop trying to solve problems at your own discretion and accept them as they are. Accept what has appeared in front of you. And please feel the miracle coming to you. Your state of mind will change. If you can think of yourself as being one with the power of the great universe and let yourself float within it, many issues will be resolved. I would like many people to experience this moment of miracle.
Obstacles in life are not meant to torment us. They are designed to educate and train us to become wiser and stronger, and in the end, more compassionate towards others. So let's stop asking why me and why now, and accept the current situation as material for learning, taking everything in as nourishment for the soul. This may seem impossible in the midst of suffering, but this attitude is the only guaranteed way to overcome your problems and achieve true happiness. Believe in the will of God and feel His great mercy and compassion watching over us as we learn and grow. Don't forget that there are many invisible beings always encouraging us and praying for us through tough times. At Happy Science, you can listen to Okawa's other lectures related to today's topics. We also offer meditation to reconcile relationships and many other lectures. We are here to support you in attaining happiness in life. For more information, please contact a Happy Science location near you. If you'd like to learn more about Okawa and the teachings of Happy Science, visit invitationtohappiness.org or call us at 1-800-710-7777. Here at New York Temple, you will find all of Okawa's publications and video lectures. We are here to support you in building a bright future. Come join us for weekly Sunday workshops and weekday guided meditation sessions. Your happiness is our mission. For more information on upcoming events, go to invitationtohappiness.org or call us at 1-800-710-7777. Once again, thank you for accepting our invitation to happiness. And join us next week as we continue our journey to happiness with the topic Spiritual Influences Behind Substance Abuse, Addiction, and Domestic Violence in Families. See you next time. We are all searching for answers to life's questions. The Laws of the Sun is an uplifting guide to spiritual awakening. Self-discovery begins with every page.
I would recommend the book to anyone who's a serious seeker of the truth, because the truth is in those books. And you have to realize that when you read this book, you are changing your outlook, your psyche. Since reading The Laws of the Sun and other books in Happy Science, my life, of course, has changed. My outlook has changed. I know my outlook is different. How it has completely affected my behavior, of course I think it has. Probably for the better, but we're all working on ourselves. You know, the life on Earth is a workbook. And so we all have issues to solve in this lifetime. It's been a real help with realizing that, and love each other, nurture each other, be careful of what you say and how you deal with people. You learn to deal with people very gently. And probably that's one thing that people who know me would say you've changed a bit. The Laws of the Sun certainly has changed my perspective, and it reinforces things that you know down deep.
The preceding program was sponsored by Happy Science.